You're watching KOCO-5. Breaking news is happening now.
We are following a lot of breaking news developing right now. 3 homicide investigations unfolding across the metro. One connected to a now canceled Amber Alert in southeast Oklahoma City. Another homicide in southwest OKC. And just within the last hour or so, a third homicide in Midwest City. Also breaking, the governor updating Oklahomans on the state's COVID-19 response. He and top health leaders calling for all of us to take the coronavirus crisis more seriously than we are right now as we head into the holidays. We thank you so much for joining us here on what is a busy Tuesday at 5 o'clock. I'm Evan Onstadt, and we begin with those 3 homicide investigations underway right now. One of them connected to an Amber Alert that you probably got an alert about on your phone. That child, we can tell you, found safe just minutes ago. KOCO's Portia Riley joining us live from the scene of the homicide connected to this Amber Alert. That's Portia, in a neighborhood near Southeast 44th and Bryant.
The child was missing.
Yes, Evan. Police say they were called to this home just behind me just afternoon on reports of a dead body, soon finding a woman who had been killed. They say they then realized 14-month-old Zyla Milburn was missing, who's since been found safe in Love County by OHP. Police believing her father, 37-year-old Brandon Milburn, shown here, took off with her, last seen driving a light-colored car.
A silver Toyota Prius with an Oklahoma tag of AEX 868.
Now, police say it's early in the investigation and aren't sure if the woman found was the mother of the child, but ask that everybody be on the lookout for Milburn, saying if you see him, call 911 because he could be armed and dangerous. For now, back to you.
All right, Portia Riley, live for us tonight. Thanks very much. In fact, authorities actively searching right now for the suspect in that case. And right now, we've got to tell you, KOCO Sky 5 is live over a large police presence in Cleveland County. So let's send it up right now to Sky 5 pilot Chase Rutledge. Chase, can you tell us what you're seeing down there?
Yeah, Evan, we are following a group of attack team individuals from Oklahoma City Police Department and I believe Cleveland County Sheriff's Department, and they are systematically clearing a lot of these buildings and structures in this area. This is at 159th and Anderson Road. They've cleared a number of homes, and you can see they're going into another structure. I think that's another home there in this intersection, but they are doing their very best to see if they can find this suspect, and hopefully they will be able to find him and bring him to justice. You see a lot of them spreading out through the trees here. We're going to stay on this scene for a little bit longer and see if anything transpires. Back to you guys.
The search for the Amber Alert suspect continuing here this afternoon. And Oklahoma City police investigating a second homicide right now, this one in southwest Oklahoma City, in a neighborhood near Southwest 89th and Penn. That's where we find KOCO's Patrina Adger. Patrina's joining us live with details on what police are finding out there.
Well, Evan, police received several 911 calls about an injury accident here in this neighborhood. And when they got here, they found a man shot and killed inside of a pickup truck. Now, the police have since cleared the scene, but Sky 5 was seen flying over that scene of that truck that appears to have crashed into a tree. Police say they got a call shortly after about a stolen vehicle. Now, witnesses tell police the suspect, a thin black male with a white T-shirt, carrying a backpack, left the scene in a white pickup truck. Police say the suspect carjacked at least one victim in his getaway.
He abandoned that white pickup in the area of 104th and May, and then he stole another vehicle in that area and has since abandoned that vehicle in the area of 119th and May. And right now that suspect is on the loose.
Now, that man did run off, and he is believed to be armed and dangerous tonight. Reporting live from Southwest 95th and Hillcrest, Patrina Adger, KOCO 5 News. Back to you, Evan.
Patrina, thanks very much. And now to the third homicide investigation happening right now, this one in Midwest City. Police say that they arrived on the scene at the Sand Hills Apartments earlier this afternoon to find a man dead inside one of the units. They say he had been shot.
It's early in the investigation. At this point, we're still gathering information and interviewing witnesses and trying to identify who may be possibly responsible for this crime.
Police have not released any other details at this point. No word right now on any arrests, if they have been made. Sky 5 was over this breaking news scene this afternoon. Norman police investigating today at a landfill in South Oklahoma City. We heard from several viewers who saw this large police presence, wondering what was going on. Well, Norman police tell us they were searching for evidence related to a suspicious death investigation. Officers say these two people are the last to see Leanna Ray Bell back on October 16th. Now we switch gears tonight to an urgent warning from our state's top doctors. They say we need to get COVID under control now, and we need to start taking it serious. Another 1,700 new cases reported in just the last 24 hours. And today, Governor Kevin Stitt holding his first COVID-19 update in weeks, joined by top medical officials. KOCO's Dylan Richards was there. He's joining us live tonight. So, Dylan, what was their message today?
Well, Evan, their message really is that hospitals are in danger of getting overwhelmed by the number of COVID patients that are being admitted and the number that are currently in hospitals statewide. The message, everybody's got to take this seriously.
If our current rate of infection is not curbed, we will run out of beds and of staff.
That's the message tonight from the state's top docs. This is serious and it's real.
Many Oklahomans and Americans have wondered if this is just political maneuvering and if the science was being manipulated. I can tell you, it isn't.
Integris VP of Medical Affairs, Dr. Julie Watson, pleading with Oklahomans in cities and rural areas to wear a mask.
Wearing a mask is not a sign of weakness or fear. It is not a political statement. It's an outward symbol that says, I am contributing. I am willing to do what it takes to help.
Meantime, Governor Stitt announcing new action, including activating the state's regional medical response system to coordinate transferring patients between hospitals to open up extra space, and encouraging the nursing board to make it easier for students and out-of-state nurses to practice. Also encouraging all college students to get tested before heading home for the holidays. He won't mandate mask wearing across the state, but Governor Stitt saying everybody should wear one.
If you've taken your foot off the gas, I'm asking you to tighten things up, keep doing your part. We need it more than ever right now.
And some news on the vaccine front this evening. Of course, we all remember earlier this week, Pfizer had some very encouraging news about their vaccine candidate. Oklahoma officials say they believe we could get the very first doses of that vaccine in a month. But keep in mind, that's going to be a very, very limited supply reserved for people who are the most at risk. They are currently working on that plan that would have wide distribution of a vaccine, hopefully around roughly the time of next spring. But because it's not till next spring, that's why they say we've got to take precautions right now. In Oklahoma City, Dylan Richards, KOCO-5 News. Back to you.
All right, Dylan, thanks very much. Let's talk more about those precautions because Oklahoma House Democrats pushing again today for a statewide mask mandate. KOCO's Paris Jones joining us live tonight, continuing our team coverage here. Paris, you were there for that news conference with House Democrats here yesterday, really calling out the governor today.
Evan, that's right. They want to put pressure on both Governor Kevin Stitt and Republican leaders to act now. They say the state's numbers, COVID numbers, are so high, we've got to have a state mask mandate right now.
Governor Stitt says he's asking Oklahomans to do the right thing and protect each other. Well, Governor, we're asking you to do the right thing. Protect Oklahomans by enacting a statewide mask order.
House Minority Leader Emily Virgin standing with other House Democrats calling on Governor Stitt to do what dozens of other states have done and implement a mask mandate.
There have been more than 1,400 COVID deaths in Oklahoma, and the governor has not come up with a single plan to keep that number from getting to 2,000. This is a total failure in leadership. Politically convenient speeches about freedom and personal responsibility are not preventing our ICUs from being maxed out.
Governor Stitt still not backing down from his stance on a potential mask mandate. The state health commissioner also saying he doesn't believe it's enforceable.
Well, I certainly understand Oklahomans who want to protect their rights. That is sort of the spirit of Oklahomans. However, this is not an issue of liberty. This is an issue of humanity. On the enforcement, that is just a tired talking point. We have all kinds of laws that are difficult to enforce, but we've seen in communities with mask orders that they work.
Now, Virgin mentioned if Governor Stitt still refuses to enact a mask ordered that they will look at drafting some legislation to do something about it. She also says that House Democrats are also calling for a special session to address the deadline on a provision allowing public bodies like the legislature to meet virtually. Reporting live tonight, Paris Jones, KOCO-5 News. Evan, back to you.
All right, Paris, thanks very much. Now to a big day at the U.S. Supreme Court, which was hearing oral arguments in a case that is being watched closely across the country as justices weigh how much of the Affordable Care Act should remain in place. KOCO's Matt Pritchard in our Washington bureau for us tonight with what we heard from the court this morning.
Evan, with a 6-3 conservative majority now in place, the comments coming from the justices are under a microscope as the health care for 23 million Americans could hinge on their decision. A massive case arrives at the Supreme Court, questioning whether the Affordable Care Act's individual mandate is constitutional. In 2017, Congress set the penalty for not having health insurance to zero. Now, GOP-led states argue that without the individual mandate, the entire law should go.
The proper course is to take Congress at its word and declare the mandate unconstitutional and inseverable from the remainder of the ACA.
Now, some say that didn't impact the law.
The remaining provisions aren't just capable of functioning independently, they have been functioning.
Two members of the court's conservative wing seem to agree with that.
I think it's hard for you to argue that Congress intended the entire act to fall if the mandate were struck down.
This is a very straightforward case for severability under our precedents, meaning that we would excise the mandate and leave the rest of the act in place.
If those opinions held, they would likely join the 3 liberal justices who seem intent on keeping the law.
You're coming in here with a theory which to my mind threatens to kind of explode standing doctrine.
Attention was also on the newest justice, Amy Coney Barrett.
You're asking us to treat it as if it functionally has been repealed, but that's not what Congress did.
Experts say her view on the case remains unclear.
I thought she was careful in not tipping her hand very much.
It could be months before we learn the court's final decision. Opinions are often released near the end of the term, closer to June of next year. In Washington, Matt Pritchard, KOCO-5 News.
We hope by a year from now we can return to some sort of normalcy in Oklahoma City.
The Oklahoma City Memorial Marathon deciding now to make a big change to next year's race. The reason, they say, that they've decided to delay the April 2021 race to October. That's coming up.
And rain from this morning has moved out, but our next wave is not far away. The next system headed this way, and when rain will move in for you at the end of the week.